Somebody called your business today and nobody picked up. They did not leave a voicemail. They did not try again later. They called the next name on the list and booked with them. You will never know it happened. That is the most expensive thing in your business, and it does not appear anywhere in your numbers. So this is how to close it. Using Claude. Using Claude to design the automation and a voice agent to actually answer. Not theory. The exact build in the order I do it. First, get the roles straight. Because most people get this wrong and then wonder why it does not work. Claude does not answer your phone. Claude is not the robot on the call. Claude is the thing that designs the system, writes what the agent says, and reads the calls back to you afterwards so it gets better. The voice agent is a separate tool that picks up. Claude is the brain. The agent is the mouth. Once you see it that way, the build order is obvious. Step 1 is finding the leak before you automate anything. Do not start by buying software. Start by giving Claude your last 90 days. Call logs, booking numbers, what a customer is worth, how many calls came in outside hours. Then ask one question. Where am I losing money that I am not currently measuring? It will do the arithmetic you have been avoiding. Most service businesses find the same thing. A quarter to a third of inbound calls go unanswered, and the ones that go unanswered are worth exactly the same as the ones that get through. Step 2 is the first automation, and it is deliberately the smallest one. Missed call, text back. Phone rings, nobody picks up. Within about 30 seconds, that caller gets a text that says, "Sorry we missed you. What do you need?" That is it. No voice agent yet. No complexity. The reason to start here is that it costs almost nothing. It takes an afternoon, and it recovers real bookings in week 1. Have Claude write the text itself and tell it the one rule that matters. Sound like a person who was busy, not like a company that has a system. Step 3. Now the voice agent. And this is where Claude earns its place. A voice agent is only as good as what it is told to say. So give Claude your offer, your prices, your service area, your 3 most common questions, and the things you absolutely do not want it promising. Then ask it to write the call flow. Greeting, the 2 or 3 questions that qualify, what to do when the caller asks for something you do not do, and how it hands off. Read it out loud before you ship it. If it sounds like a brochure, tell Claude to make it sound like your best receptionist on a normal Tuesday. Step 4 is the part people skip, and it is the part that decides whether this makes money or just makes noise. You have to define what a good lead sounds like. Not a form, not a checkbox. Describe your best customer to Claude in plain language, then ask it to turn that into 3 questions the agent can ask on a call without sounding like an interrogation. Budget range, timeline, whether they are actually the decision maker. If the agent books everyone, you have not automated your calendar, you have just filled it with people who were never going to buy. Step 5 is the follow-up, because the booking is not the end of it. Roughly half the people who talk to your agent will not book on that first contact. Have Claude write the sequence that catches them. A message an hour later, one the next morning, one 3 days out. Then stop. Each one shorter than the last. Each one referencing what they actually asked about on the call, which the agent already captured. And tell Claude the hardest rule to follow. Every message has to be worth receiving on its own. If it only exists to bump the thread, cut it. Step 6 is what separates the people who get results from the people who set this up and forget it. Every call produces a transcript. That is the most useful data your business has ever generated, and almost nobody reads it. Feed Claude a batch of them and ask 3 things. Where did callers hesitate? What did they ask that the agent could not answer? Which calls should have booked and did not? You will find out. Your pricing answer is confusing, or that everybody asks about one thing you never mention. Then you fix the script and the next 100 calls go better. Step 7 makes that improvement automatic, instead of something you keep meaning to do. Put the review on a schedule. In Claude, a project can hold a recurring task, so you set it once, and every Monday morning, it reads last week's calls against the same 3 questions and hands you the changes. One condition, and it matters. Build it on connectors and files in your Claude account, not on folders on your laptop, or it only runs when your machine is awake. Set it up right, and the system audits itself while you are with customers. Put it together, and here is the honest maths. If you miss 20 calls a month and a customer is worth £1,000 and you recover even a quarter of them, that is $5,000 a month from a build that took a week. And that is the conservative version, because it never has a bad day, it never forgets to follow up, and it answers at 7 on a Sunday evening exactly the way it answers on a Tuesday morning. The gain is not that it is clever. The gain is that it is consistent, which no human on a phone has ever been. So the order is: find the leak, missed call, text back. Then the agent, the qualification, the follow-up, and the weekly read of the transcripts. Build them in that order, and each one pays for the next. If you want the call flow and the follow-up sequence I use, they are linked below. Free. Next one is on what to do with the leads once the calendar is full.